Well, things did not go according to plan, gentlemen. In fact, the exact biggest concern we had for them last time after we won against the Pistons was our biggest concern this time. And it it came true. The worst case scenario came true. But, it was the Boston Celtics. They are undefeated at home. It made sense that this was just one of those games we weren't going to get. And unfortunately, it happened in quite dramatic fashion. That's the biggest takeaway out of this one. Man, going on NBA.com and seeing that big red L is crazy. It was not terrible, though. That said, there were some positives in the game, namely, uh, um, looking for positives now, actually. Everybody had a negative box plus minus, so yeah, with the exception of, I guess, THT across 12 minutes and Lucas Solmanich and Omer year 7, but they both played 12 minutes. Like they all got subbed and played the same period. So that didn't really matter much. That said, I'm about to find something for y'all. Hang on. Walker Kessler ain't get a block today. 14 minutes. Goodness. We didn't have a 20-point score. John Collins double-double, I guess. But that's not good because his box plus minus was a negative 28. So at what cost? Colin Sexton had a solid game. 5'11", did miss all 3 of his threes, which was part of our problem. We just couldn't hit the ocean. We couldn't hit it. We couldn't land a bucket, especially early on. That immediate lead was the worst part. At halftime, I believe it was 8 more field goals than us. But the issue was they had made in total, like, of those 8 field goals, 6 of them, I believe, were threes. So the biggest issue in the beginning was we took shots, didn't make shots. They took the same shots, and they made those shots on us, and we could never recover. Overall, they were 17 of 49 from 3. We were 6 of 34. We shot 17.6%. They shot 34.7%. Overall, from the field, by game's end, they didn't shoot terrifically. Like, things were looking a lot worse in the first half, but, by halftime, things were kind of set in stone. None of the late game pushes really made a significant difference. Third quarter, a lot of points scored, but also a lot of points surrendered. They ended up shooting 39 of 90 from the field in total, and that works out to 43.3%. We were 34 for 94, shooting 36.2%. So not terrific numbers. We had one more rebound than them, 57 to 56. They had one more assist than us, 24 to 23. Steals, we had 11. They had 9. Blocks, they had 8. We had 2. I think that was the biggest surprise, I think. Turnover wise, we relapsed and we had 18. That's the first time we've had 18 in quite some time. They complimented our giving up 18 with them only giving up 12. Falcon was pretty even in this one. The whistle went 24 blows our way, 23 theirs. So nastiness. Being able to pull Jayson Tatum at 24.5 minutes, because he's shooting 6 of 12 from the field, 5 of 8 from 3, has 9 boards, 5 assists, and put up 30 points is disgusting. His box score plus minus was the highest in the game at a positive 34. Drew Holiday was a positive 22. Just not our something we could have lived without, honestly. But again, this was the biggest concern we had going into this one because against the Pistons, yes, we scored a lot of points. But we also surrendered too many points. And the question became when you face a team that actually has a very solid defense, you can't afford to miss shots and still surrender a lot of points. And unfortunately, that's more or less what we ended up doing today. Not from an overall standpoint, because again, they shot 43% from the field. They didn't shoot 50% or close to it like the Pistons did. But the issue was they shot 34% from three on darn near half their attempts of field goal attempts, I mean. And we shot roughly a third of our field goal attempts as threes and hit six of them for 17.6. Yeah, nastiness. Um, from the free throw line, we also didn't hit a lot of our free throws. We were 23 or 34, which works out to 67%. They were 31 for 36, which works out to 86%. Not a significant difference, obviously, but if because we did end up losing by 29. Yeah, so I wouldn't have made a very significant difference, but you would like to have some of those back. There was nobody that was particularly egregious. THT, though, was 3 of 6. He was the biggest negative at the free throw line. Kelly Olynyk was 6 of 8. Omer missed both of his. Luka missed one of his. Lowry and Simone both went 1 of 2. They split their pair that they took. But yeah, John Collins double-double despite being in the worst scoring lineups and defensive lineups on the court at all times, signified by his insanely egregious box score plus minus. That was that negative 28. The closest to him was then Jordan Clarkson, who also, funny enough, actually had a terrible shooting night tonight. Um, I, I knew we were due for one. I was hoping it didn't come today, but with any luck, that means he'll be on against the Sixers, which is a game which realistically out of the 4-game stretch is the game that you would expect us to have the best chance of winning. So if Clarkson can hit there, we can, as a team, hit more of our threes. Ochai was 0 of 3. Kelly missed his one. THT missed his one. Luka missed his one. Omer missed 2. Jordan Clarkson missed both of his. Sexton missed all 3 of his. Chris Dunn missed 1. John Collins missed 1. Lowry was 2 of 7. Fontecchio was 2 of 5. I mean, Fontecchio was the only one that shot like modestly from 3, realistically. He's the only person above 30%. That said, the show goes on. Got to see it for what it is. And not too irritated with it, Hate to see him marking in. All right, 2. Okay. Oh, I got you. Yeah. It was a rough one, Cam. It was a rough one. What's up, Logic? You said rough start led to a really big lead for the Celtics early. Scored 30 plus every quarter except for the fourth. Yeah. Yeah. No one above 20 points is a tragedy. Absolutely. That's just it was nasty. It was nasty. Credit to them for recognizing that, hey, Jordan Clarkson is not shooting the ball well. Pull him similarly to Chris Dunn, who played solid on defense. We only had 2 blocks and he had one of them. John Collins had the other one, ironically enough. But in 25, almost 26 minutes, Chris Dunn was both really good and really bad at the same time. He was bad on offense in the fact that he was 1 of 7 from the field, and he did miss the 1 3 that he took, but he did have 5 boards, 5 assists, 3 steals, a block, and only 1 turnover. However, on the other side of the negatives as well, he had 4 personal fouls and only hit, again, 1 of his 7 shots, which led to his box plus minus being a negative 9. Overall, he showed what it was useful, but what he's useful for. But at the same time, it was tough. Jordan Clarkson was also 1 of 7, but in 17 and a half minutes, missed both of his 3-pointers, had 2 boards, 2 assists, one steal, and led the team with turnovers with 4 because, yes, predictable enough. Yeah, he had 2 points as well. That said, you know, every dog has its day, and today just wasn't ours. We've had a really good stretch of games. We knew that coming into this road trip, it was going to get tough. It was going to be tough to get any one of these wins. This certainly was the one that we probably statistically had the lowest odds of winning. The prayer was that we keep it as close as possible. Obviously, we didn't. Obviously, they're the better team. It's just flat out, top to bottom. But 76ers. I like that matchup a lot better. Obviously, you can't control a lot of variables along the way. You can't guarantee that everybody's going to have a good shooting night and everybody isn't going to, as some would say, excuse my language, but shit the bucket like we experienced today, shooting wise. But also credit it to great defense by the Celtics because they didn't get this far and have an undefeated home record by simply being decent at scoring the basketball. Right? They're a great defensive team. That said, can't give up 18 turnovers. We've had a really good stretch of games where we were giving up only 8 to 13 ish. 18 is a stark difference, and there was a lot of live ball ones actually out of that sample size. And obviously, if you give up almost 30% more turnovers than you normally do, a good sample size of those are probably going to be live ball turnovers, and it's probably going to be very unfortunate for you. That said, moving on to Keontae George, he was 4 of 10 from the field, 2 of 7 from 3. Hit both of his free throws, though. 4 assists, 4 boards, 1 assist, and 2 turnovers. 5 points, box plus minus for -12. So not a great night from him. Not terrible in the sense that he was 2 of 3 inside the 3-point line, but he just missed a lot of his threes. He actually shot the exact same from 3 as Lowry did. Fun fact. But, you live some, you win some, you lose some along the way. And this was just when we ended up losing. You said once we were down 15 to 46 or whatever was when we should have rested the starters for Philly tomorrow. Kessler only had a -4 at halftime. I didn't check after he was. Had double-digit box plus minus. Yeah. Yeah, Kessler. I don't think they played Kessler after that point because he finished the game with a box plus minus of a -4. What do we say right here? It's almost like I said he needed to start against the Celtics or something. You did say that, Tatum, ironically enough. It's almost like having John Collins start is going to give you the possibility of great rebounding and efficient scoring, but no perimeter, no interior defense. That's exactly what I'm saying. That box plus minus of a -28 says that perfectly. The only person even close to that was Jordan Clarkson, who was -23. Shot 1 of 7 from the field, 4 turnovers. What did you expect? Next was actually, surprisingly enough, Kelly Olynyk, -22, which is just unfortunate. He did it only 14 minutes as well, which was the shortest sample size to do it. Godly. 0 of 2 from the field, missed the one free throw he took. 6 of 8 from the free throw line, though. 1 rebound, 1 assist, 1 steal, 3 fouls. Yeah. Just a bad night, I thought Kessler would at least go for 3 blocks, but I don't know what bro was doing. Yeah, he looked really uncomfortable at certain points in times. That said, he didn't have a terrible performance. In the 14 minutes, he was just a box plus minus of a -4. Probably because of how the game was looking, they just decided, you know what, let's go ahead and pull the plugs on it. Let's go ahead and pull the plug on him specifically. Let some of the other guys still get some minutes. But like you saw, THT, Luka, and Omer both got a full quarter of play. All 3 of them got 12 minutes. So everybody that was active on the roster to play touched the court, really. So while this was not definitely anything you would want to repeat, the one positive is that, everybody got some burn, which hasn't happened in some time, honestly. You said Kessler definitely altered some shots, even if they weren't blocked. Yeah, for sure. He said, no, I'm hating. He did okay, but he felt a little too stretched with all the drives they were playing. Yeah, not much bro can do. Yeah. Also, you sub him in and he's down 30. What's he supposed to do? Not like he can keep it close no matter how hard he plays. True. Yeah. Because also, when you're down 30 and you don't run your offensive hub through Walker Kessler, he's not scoring the ball for you on offense. And what lead is he protecting if you're down 30 points? Fun fact: there is no lead because you're down. But highlight plays for us were few and far in between. Nothing too tremendous across the board, worth speaking on, worth enjoying. Um, mm, 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 mm. Yeah, this was just a nasty one. Uh, doesn't look like there's going to be that many of us in the live today, so likely due to the obvious behind whooping we just took. But oh, you said D'Lo for Clarkson. Sorry, I read that in my head and I did not answer it. um, I wouldn't because D'Lo's personality. D'Lo has a personality similar to Clarkson. He has a little bit better playmaking, a little less turnover prone, but he's very prone to the ebbing and flowing, where it's like you know for a fact more or less what Jordan Clarkson is at this point, as a starter, off the bench, whatever the case may be. You add D'Lo to the equation, you're gonna have to give up another piece because he's not gonna be happy playing like in this case 17 to 24, 25-ish minutes a night, right? He likes starting even when he comes off the bench. He likes playing high minutes, but it wouldn't be the worst straight up trade. Like if we were going 1 for 1, that wouldn't be the worst thing to do. But I just think that personality wise, more than anything, like play, if we were looking specifically basketball related, yes, D'Lo's bag works better for what the Utah Jazz have because we need more of a playmaker right now. And we're relying on Chris Dunn, but Chris Dunn's shot making has been really just bad lately. Like he's had one or two, he's had no, hold on, let me rephrase that. Because against okay teams, decent teams, bad teams, he shoots right? He doesn't shoot bad, but against the upper teams in the league, for example, this game had a bad one, right? Took 7 field goal attempts. He doesn't usually shoot more than like 4, so he was trying to get something going. It just wasn't going. But he still ended up having. He ended up being tied for team high in assists despite playing. Well, did he play the most minutes in this game? Wow, that's a surprise. Yeah, Chris Dunn played exactly a minute longer than Fontecchio did at 25:49, so he led the team in minutes, had 5 assists. Lowry also, side note, did have 5 assists. Unfortunately, they were wasted because we got clapped, but something to pay attention to. Yeah. I don't expect him to have that level of playmaking in his bag per se, but it would be nice if he can just continue to make the extra pass when things aren't going well for him and it lead to offense. That would be nice. So in my life, if we start John against Embiid, I'm gonna be pissed. John can start against the Raptors, but I don't want to see him start until then. Realistically, I guess, I'm assuming they knew they were going to lose this game, but they wanted John Collins to put on a show so they can try and boost him up to get traded. That said, we need to win one of these games on the road trip, right? So let's go ahead and sit John Collins. If you don't want to start Walker Kessler, you're convinced that you want to play him for just 20 to 24, 25-ish minutes on a nightly basis, fine. Start Omer Yurtseven, right? He'll be fine on Embiid. He won't be great, but he'll be fine. If you don't want to go that route, go Kelly Olynyk. It won't work for long because Kelly Olynyk is kind of foul prone, but just to throw different looks at them, yeah, do that. Anything but John Collins. I don't need to see Embiid foul bait Embiid give us 30 in the first half, right? I don't. I cannot express to you how much dismay I would be in if I have to turn on my TV and watch us getting pummeled by that guy. All respect to Embiid, great NBA player, but I don't want to see that be that next one that comes out. So yeah, no, that's facts. I guess I just missed his 7.1 assists in the 2022 season. He seemed past his prime, but just straight up washed. Yeah. Low key. Bench him, please. I can't watch us suffer. Start a game again. Derek, well, yeah. I was worrying about us competing. I didn't think we were going to win this one. I was hoping that it would have been I thought it was going to be like a gradual loss. Like we get outscored by like 5 to 6 every quarter, which works out to like roughly 20 to 24-ish. point loss. We lost by 29, but it was the fashion in which it came that I was unhappy with. Like we got blown out the box right in the beginning. Just not just not my cup of tea. Have we ever scored the first bucket of the game with John starting? It seems like we always give ourselves a 5 to 10 point disadvantage starting John. Have you ever scored the first bucket? I would wager so really early on in the game. Now, of course, this was back when we were terrible, so um, make of it as you will. But yeah, John Collins' defensive inabilities is terrible. It makes him unplayable at times, or in this case, playable, but you're going to get absolutely hornswoggled. That's what we particularly enjoyed this lovely evening. Great way to go into the weekend. You know what I'm saying? A great Friday night gift to us for watching and believing. Definitely 10 out of 10 would not recommend to anybody at all. But at least we didn't lose by 30, right? 29 is not 30. It's not like they pulled their starters and yeah. I want John to work out bad. Ideally, it would have. I believed in John Collins. I've had like 3 videos, I'm pretty sure, about John Collins. Like when we first traded him, he wasn't obvious. I'll get this out of the way. As much as John Collins doesn't help us win right now, having John Collins is better than that second round pick in Rudy Gay. Unequivocally, I'm not hearing it. Right? Definitely better. Provides more. That said, he's not pushing the needle at all. He's just putting up numbers, and the numbers mean nothing to us in the long run, which is a tough part, right? Because in the beginning we were losing so badly, and it was easy to blame it on Clarkson and Keontae, or Clarkson and THT at the time, because they were both playing so in your face bad on offense. It was like, bro, of course we're not winning games. They can't score, but they keep shooting the ball. Defensively, it just kept sweeping John Collins under the rug. Then Keontae came in, and him and Chris and Jordan Clarkson were shooting terrible. And it was like, oh, they're shooting bad. And then after that happened and we started winning games, they were like, hey, let's get a test to see who's going to trade for John Collins. And it was like, oh, why would they do that? Wait a minute, look at the numbers. Oh, snap, he's terrible on defense. He's not just not good. He's not a negative defender. It's bad. Like Paolo Banchero, left hand drive at the rim for the game, bad. And he let him make it. Like, no, like just nastiness. Um, you know, wanted it to work, but the lack of playmaking between Lowry, him, and Walker Kessler just ultimately, I think that was the biggest thing that doomed them all. But just had to be done. Tomorrow better be Kessler and yours or you're starting. Yeah. It's a cool story if he just isn't trash. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I love John for like first 6 games. Now I don't like him. I used to not like Tech, but now I do respect it. Can be earned and lost. Yeah. Ruthless, but you ain't wrong. Hey, Derek, you said it better. You said it best, brother. You said we can do it now. It can work. Bro, I wanted him to. And it's like, I watch him play, and it's like, it's not even him not trying on defense. That's the part that hurts me the most, I think. Because like with Jordan Clarkson, I dislike Jordan Clarkson because he doesn't try on defense all the time. Watching John Collins genuinely try, and his brain processor just doesn't. It's he's running on Windows XP, like Windows 99. Like he has the oldest version of Microsoft Word running. He's got WordPad. He doesn't have Microsoft Word. He has a WordPad in his brain, and it's showing every night. And it's like he's there, he's trying. His trying just isn't good enough. Like he has the physical intangibles. He's long. He's tall enough. He's just not enough of a deterrent. He just doesn't get the system. And here we are, halfway through the season, about halfway through the season. Can't keep having that. Especially when you have Taylor Hendricks sitting on the bench. At least Taylor Hendricks is going to lock up. He's not probably going to buy you 20, right? He's not going to give you 20. He might give you 8 right now. But I'll take 8 in great defense over, what he had today? A double-double and the lowest box score plus minus on the team. I guarantee you, Taylor Hendricks doesn't experience that issue. It's tough, and I'm low key starting to see that Keontae George isn't a playmaker. He might be more of a shooting guard than my biggest concern with him. And it's like, do you trust Chris Dunn to be the solo facilitator for going forward in a future where you see Larry Markin in a small forward, maybe Taylor Hendricks at power forward, and then Walker Kessler at center? Or do you leave Fontecchio in there and that go Fontecchio, Lowry, and Walker Kessler, and then of course Taylor Hendricks off the bench? But then it's like, okay, you have Colin Sexton. Colin Sexton's going to play make a little bit. He's not going to be great, but he's going to play make a little bit. Can you live with Chris Dunn's misses in important games? Can you live with those? Because if you can't, we need a point guard, and maybe it's Bryce Sensabaugh. We keep acting like he doesn't exist because he hasn't touched the court, but it might be low-key Bryce Sensabaugh. The reason why he hasn't played, or the reason why he got sent to the G League, obviously besides his injury keeping him out of the summer league play, was the fact that he needed to work on his playmaking. And they said it was progressing, but we haven't seen it on the NBA floor. So for all I know, he's gonna come out and go crazy. You know what I'm saying? But right now, Keontae's not looking. He's not passing the test right now. It's a myriad of things. But again, this is a rough stretch, right? We're playing contenders. We're not playing just middle tier teams. We're not playing okay teams. We're not playing bad teams. We're not playing horrendous teams. We're playing teams that in theory should wax us. If they looked at the way the Jazz played in the beginning of the season, these are teams that should like backhand us, smack us out the arena, especially in their home stadiums. I hope that it doesn't stay that way. I need us to win one. Preferably, I like to split it, right? Go 2-2 during this 4-game stretch, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. 1-3, right? We're 0-1 right now. Let's go 1. Let's go 1-1. Let's split it right here against the Sixers, and then we'll see how things shake out through the next 2 games. That's where my head's at. I don't know about y'all. Just that look that bro can't read the first half of a Harry Potter book. Yeah. I mean, Sexton and Keontae have had flashes on playmaking, but they are never going to be primary playmakers. Yeah. I'm with you on that one logic. That's why I said, like, Chris Dunn is obviously the most preferable option on the roster at the moment, but it's like he doesn't provide the shot making. That's the biggest issue with him right now. Like, and I appreciate him being a pass first, more so kind of guy, a table setter, if you will. But you have to be able to put the ball in the hoop yourself if we need you to do it. And right now, he can't do it. And it's showing up crazy. It's making us look crazy. But again, this is one game. I'm not gonna panic and, sell the farm behind it, but it's tough. He said maybe it's just my end, but I'm cutting out. Am I good now? Let me know. Close out something. Oh, okay, cool. All right, but just want to make sure. Didn't want to short the experience. Not that there much is one today. I mean, our best bets are Bryce or someone in this draft that might be under the radar. Yeah, I'm really about to start like looking into this draft heavily because I need to see an offensive hub. Right now, I'm low-key praying we can get Bronny so we can get LeBron at this point because it doesn't look like we're going to get like a preferable option at point guard. And, 1 year of LeBron maximizing Lowry's shooting touch, Taylor Hendricks would definitely play at that point. Walker Kessler being a stud. Pick and rolls between LeBron and Lowry or LeBron and Walker Kessler would be amazing. Colin Sexton would finally get to play with LeBron, but I don't know. I know it's wishful thinking, but games like this really bring that out of me. Games like that really bring this out of me. He said, Sorry, I'm late. Was uploading my post game. It was a painful game. It was a rebuilding team versus a championship contending team. There are definitely levels to this. Hopefully, it's better tomorrow. Yeah, yeah, right. And the Sixers is honestly the most winnable out of the road trip. I think you'd agree, Lee. So hopefully that's the one we bring it to. Hopefully we hit our shots in that one, and defensively we force less preferable shots on their side of the floor. So bro, if Brown plays for the Jazz, I'm just trade for you. Man, we need something. Cause like I'm comfortable saying we're far from the bottom, but we're also far from the top, which is the not so good part. He said we got a good ass resume for yeah, yeah, lucky. Bucks are bad defensively, so I think we can win versus Sixers. We can probably beat the Bucks. Interesting. Are the Bucks in a slump right now? By the way, I heard that they lost to the Pacers again. Like they've lost to the Pacers 4 out of the 5 times they played them this year. Apparently, um, I don't know if the Pacers just have their card or if they're actually like showing signs of weakness. If they're showing signs of weakness, that's something we could take advantage of as well. I would agree. Um, yeah, only against the Pacers. Hot dog, man. Can't buy one. Can't buy a good one. Just gotta live with it for what it is. At this point, definitely not our finest game, gentlemen. Hopefully, we'll see a bounce back. We need a bounce back. That's the most preferable situation for us, and I think that we will see one. At the very least, we'll shoot better, and the Sixers aren't as disciplined or comfortable playing the game of basketball to get the job done in a way that's really gonna like lock us. So I'm not super concerned about them. I am concerned because they have Embiid and they have Tyrese Maxey. But from a top to bottom standpoint, I like our odds against them specifically a lot better than obviously the Celtics or even the Nuggets. I low key don't think the Nuggets game is going to be a blowout. Don't mark my words yet. I need to see how we play against the Sixers. But Lee, you said, honestly, I thought we'd lose the Celtics, not by 30. Lose to the Sixers, beat the Bucks. Really, lose to the Sixers. Hmm. Interesting. How do you think Chris Dunn's defense against Damian Lillard is going to be? Just a thought. Let me know. For all of like probably 20 minutes that we're going to play him on there because it won't be much of anything. You said lockdown though? Fair. Nuggets is also winnable at home? Yeah. I was wondering about that because I felt that way, but I didn't know if I was being a little bit over the top about it. Yeah, Chris Dunn a dog for sure, for sure. Um, I like that. Also, Sexton might be good too the way he gets after it. Yeah, especially offensively. I think you said double lock Dame down. He's huge and has length. He's got the size and advantage on Dame. Yeah, true. Um, if Sexton's hitting his shots, Chris Dunn keeps Dame from hitting his shots. We then are forced to look at the proverbial Brook Lopez situation, which I'm not extremely concerned about. And then obviously Giannis, who against Wemby had what 44. So you always have the opportunity to do one of two things in every game. Either you can force the ball into the Stars' hands and make them beat you, tire them out, wear their behinds out, and make them do all the work. Or deny ball, force the ball, and make it harder for them. Try and get them to get the ball out of their hands and make the role players beat you. Either way, the starters are probably going to give you 20, right? Or at least 15. We'll say 15 because I think Dame having a bad game is a lot worse scoring wise than Giannis having a bad game. So yeah, it's definitely winnable. I'm with y'all on that. But in due time, we shall know. In due time, we shall know. Hmm. He said, if we play Fontecchio with Lowry and Walker, I think he can guard Chris Middleton. Yeah, I'll buy that too. I'll buy that too. I actually like that. He said, we have somebody who can guard Giannis and Lara. Walker can guard Lopez. Dunn can guard Dame. The one I fear is Chris Middleton. Really? I mean, we play the Bucks. I'd rather have Dunn on the court all game than risk Lillard getting hot on a bad defender, and then no one can stop him. I'd agree. You're talking about Jokic's game winner. Nah, people were sitting there clowning Jokic, saying he's happy that he had the game winner, so he doesn't have to play extra in the overtime. Not because he won, but because he doesn't have to play overtime. That was sickening. But the fact that he's missed what 5 shots in the past 4 games. That's crazy. That's actually insane. He said it's tough because Walker on big man makes it hard for him to peel out on the Giannis run. True. What's up, Cool Slick? That boy Chase, yes sir. He said Bucks are great offensively. If we can defend them, we should be able to outscore them. Yeah, for sure. Because defensively, they've been abysmal at best. We just need to have a not terrible shooting night. If we can have a decent to good shooting night, I think it becomes a very winnable game. But if we decide to be mediocre, things are going to get ugly very quickly. Should probably just his 9 to 5. That's a big if we can defend them. Our offense is that great. Their offense is that great, and great offense beats great defense. That is also true. Clarkson goes off, we win. Yeah. After this performance, he's due for his get back. So I need his lick to come back relatively soon. The sooner the better. I would thoroughly enjoy a preferable W. We'll see if we can get that from him. He said we couldn't hit the floor if we fell on it. Yeah, we really couldn't. It was terrible, honestly. I'm not gonna say this is our worst performance this season because it's not, but it was pretty sickening. If I'm being quite honest, it was a pretty nasty game, and for all the wrong reasons as well, as one would imagine. Because goodness gracious. Mm-hmm. Catch you on the next one. Have a good night, weekend, y'all. Yes, sir, Derek. I'll catch you in the next one. Hopefully, we'll have a good one. We'll have, regardless, we'll have better news, right? We'll have a better game, so we'll have better news as a result. He said, "Yeah, the amount of blown layups. We saw quite a few of those too. High key. Yeah, not good. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you on that one." Hooray! Any more thoughts for the night, gentlemen? Oh, appreciate you. Yeah, yes, sir. That's about all I got. Yeah. This was eventful, in all the wrong ways, which made this live short. A lot of people didn't want to pop out. Understandably so. There's not much to talk about in this one. We got, flip packed and sent on our way and done the worst way. So there's that. But aside from that, you know, better days ahead, gentlemen. If nobody else has any more suggestions, any more questions, comments, thoughts, you know, I will be. I don't have any announcements actually. I was thinking. I don't have any announcements for you guys. Just hoping for better days. That's all we can do. But yeah, man. Appreciate y'all for, being Jazz fans. You said what's good with the IRL channel? Oh, good question. So for that one, I was debating on if I wanted to do vlogs and stuff, but I was like, I don't really have the time to do vlogs the way I want to. And I know it probably wouldn't catch. So it'd be I'm not gonna say it'd be a waste of energy, but it would be like a little pet project on the side, similar to my reaction channel, just like the Cole Wraith one. So I'm probably just gonna sit on those for a minute, and I'll make that one like a growth channel, the IRL one. So like anything that I've done, like I'm gonna talk about this channel obviously because it's the first channel I've had that got what you called it. They got monetized, so I'm gonna go that route. Earnings for the first month. Fun fact: it was like $90. No, it wasn't. My first month fully monetized. I in total had like $92, but I think I earned $62 that month because I got monetized on the 19th of December. But yeah, I'll probably cook up a video like that, see if that does good. Test some things against the algorithm. Podcast is back up on its feet. I gotta add these contact cards to the video so that I can go ahead and post it. But next Tuesday, podcast is dropping. I got some shorts on the way for it as well. Decided to switch. I had one editor specifically do clips for me, but then I was like, for the money that I'm paying him, I could just get a month. Like for each episode, I was paying like $40 to make clips for the week. Now I'm just probably gonna go with the Opus Clips, whatever it's called, because it does basically the same job that he did. To be quite frank, so if I'm gonna pay $40, I'm gonna pay it once instead of paying $160 for the month, and it'll be cheaper to do. And the realistically the page that'll take the most effort will be this one because my other basketball page is going to what do you call it? It's gonna be I'm gonna post every Friday. I was supposed to have a video for you guys this Friday, but Sachin wasn't able to finish it yet. It was a Lowry marketing video. I was debating on if I wanted to just post it on this channel, but I was like, it would be more fitting if for my first main channel video, I did a video about the team that put me in position to like do so many things. Obviously, the Jazz, the Utah Jazz. So I'm probably gonna put that one on that one. I have a smaller video coming out whenever he finishes it, because obviously the Fontecchio video dropped today. Italy, the supporters from Italy were really eating that one up. That Fontecchio video is still growing. It's my second most viewed video, but hopefully things continue. Hopefully things continue at a really good pace. That's the idea, at least. He said tomorrow's going to hopefully be better. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Get a body cam. It would be funny. Pull security. Oh, man. If I had a more interesting route, I would. Let's see. Bro, you doing lives at the perfect time. Check trends on Google. Jazz search most right after Jazz games. I figured. Yeah. Doing great. Appreciate that, Lee. You already know. Also, consistency is key. It's better to do 2 videos a week consistently than 2 one week for the next one the next. Yep. I wanted to do 3 videos a week on this channel, but I might do 2. I'll probably do 2 videos since I do lives after each game now, even in the car. I'll probably do my lives every week, and then I'll do 2 regular videos. So every month there will be 8, maybe 9 regular videos on this channel. Then on the main basketball channel, the Wraith Hoops, I'll have 1 weekly video drop on Friday or Saturday. If he finishes the live video tomorrow, I'll go ahead and make the day Saturday. And then my next video for the main channel will end up being about Lonzo Ball. But if not, then it'll be Fridays. And it'll be 1 video every week. So 4 videos there. So like 3-ish videos a week. My podcast, obviously, that's 4 videos a week. And I have another channel that I'm testing the waters on. It's not doing well right now, so I'm not going to disclose it just yet. But I'm going to wait a little bit. It came to mind when one of our friends said that I should read books online. I'm not reading a book, by the way, but I decided to speak a little bit more and do it a little bit anonymously. So I'm trying to see if it catches a little bit first, so I don't feel like a complete idiot for doing it. And then I'll be like, yo, this is me, by the way. You know what I'm saying? Type thing. Bro, it's funny when they was chatting and they lingo. Yeah. You're like, oh, man. Yo, Cam, you a fool. But yeah, man. With that being said, gentlemen, I bid you farewell. Hopefully, we see much more progress going forward in the future. Tonight just wasn't our night. Better team played better than us. With that being said, he said, I'm going to call the database to find you. Right quick, I need to have your book club. But yeah, thanks for coming out, tuning in live. Loving the Utah Jazz as you always do, in sickness, in health, in wins, and in losses. And as always, good morning, good evening, good night, no matter where you are on the globe watching. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace. Night Logic. Night Cam. I'll catch y'all boys.